Greetings, greetings, greetings. Nikki Brown here, no matter where you are and no matter what part of the world you are in. I hope that you're having a good day. We've come a long way, baby. Some of us have come a very long way, um, especially those who grew up in a rural or urban area and we weren't expected to accomplish anything. We were expected to stay in that environment, which has its advantages because you can help the community to better themselves. However, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink, right? So, um, a lot of times people get set in their ways and they don't want to accomplish anything. They just are comfortable doing the basics, which again, there's nothing wrong with that. Um, we are really supposed to be a more simple people. And a lot of times we strive to have or buy things to impress other people. And that's not really what life is about. Um, but, we're expected to, again, stay in those environments. And again, if you're helping the community, you're, um, improving the community, cleaning up the trash and repairing abandoned buildings and community centers. That's a good thing. But a lot of times that doesn't happen. And again, once we leave out of those environments, then a lot of those people who have stayed think, oh, you think you're better than me? Who do you think you are? Or how dare you? Or you're a sellout, or whatever it is that they say or think. But a lot of times it's just that we want better, right? We don't want to stay in those environments because a lot of times those environments can be toxic. People tend to be heavily into hard drugs or drink heavily because a lot of times they're not happy with themselves. And so they find other outlets as opposed to seeking help to heal those hidden wounds that a lot of times people don't talk about, or sometimes people talk about all the time. But we've come a long way because some of us have healed. Some of us have become better. We are not products of our environment, at least not the toxic parts, where we're cussing people out or selling drugs or using drugs or fighting all the time or whatever that toxicity is. We've improved those parts, right? A lot of people have great businesses. A lot of people have good jobs, or what's considered a good job. Although, again, just like with everything else, those things have their advantages and disadvantages because our original way is to coexist with nature, to be out in nature more, to take our socks and shoes off and put the leather bags down and just walk barefoot outside in the grass and become grounded. To sunbathe, right? To jump in the ocean or a lake, or a stream where there's clean water and cleanse ourselves in the water. And listen to the rustling of the trees and the birds chirping. And in essence, that the poem at the end of the movie The Color Purple relates that message. Just stop and see the color purple. right? All the other things in between, that's not how we're supposed to live. That's not how we're supposed to be. We're supposed to stop and see the color purple. It's just, a metaphor for enjoy life, the simple things in life. A lot of people, if you talk about go out into a field to pick some fruit and vegetables, I don't want to do that. But that's what we're supposed to do. We're supposed to, if you don't own a farm, but you know somebody who does, or you can, go to one of the farms in your community and pay to pick you some strawberries. We're supposed to eat fresh fruits and vegetables that were just picked, and clean them and eat them and preserve them. But again, we're far removed from our natural way of doing things. We've been taught to go to grocery stores. But again, some people are going back to the original way because a lot of people, again, not only have businesses, but they have land and they have farms. And even if they don't have a farm, they have enough land to grow a certain amount of food. Or people are growing food, on their fire escape, on their balconies, on their patios, in their backyards. Not too much front yards because a lot of states and towns don't allow that, as a part of their ordinances. But even if it's in a small space, people are taking advantage of those opportunities to grow food. And it's great to see. So, again, we've come a long way. And I'm delighted to see all of the people who are making progress and change and are ready, willing, and able to do better because they know better, And, yeah, that's about it. You should be proud. I'm proud of you. And let's continue to move forward in a way that's beneficial to the community at large, the collective community. Be better to each other. I am starting to see some people still don't get it. And again, those things are unfortunate. Because we're supposed to be community. It's not supposed to be individuality. Me, mine, mine. We are here to help one another. And there was a time when we bartered and traded. So it wasn't about money and all these material possessions. We existed in mainly matriarchal societies, which, some men get upset when I point out that fact. But it wasn't about control as it is today. It's because women were better administrators. They were better at handling that type of responsibility. And the men protected the women who had the businesses, who owned the land. That's what the men were there for. Their strength was there to protect us. We coexisted together. Most men did not have multiple women because they had, 10, 20 children with their one wife, and they tended to their land, and they grew their food, and they tended to the animals, or they went out to hunt and, and gather and build houses, for the family. The men were taught how to do that, right? That was their rites of passage. Part of their rites of passage ceremony was to go out to the woods, learn how to, do all of the things that come along with being in the woods, whether it be, you may have to shoo away a pack of coyotes. And again, protect your territory. Men went to war. And I've said this before, but a lot of people don't realize that polygyny was started by women during times of war and low birth rates. So if there were not enough men to marry the women in the community, they had to double up. But it was as a need. right now in 2024 in the United States, there's not a need for it. We've been convinced, though, that there are more women than men, and so this gives people a pass to, you know, have multiple partners or to cheat, right? And a lot of times people don't know how to have a good relationship with one person, never mind trying to have multiple relationships and thinking that they're actually going to get along. That works for some people, but a lot of people it doesn't work for, because there's no need for it. Again, we allow other people to convince us that there's not enough men to women, but that's not necessarily true. But that's another story. That's another conversation. It's a conversation I would love to have with someone, or even a group of people, on a panel, or even, you know, on a Zoom meeting, or a Google Meet meeting, or Google Teams meeting, or something like that, and record it and, you know, really discuss it. And I think that would be a good idea. But anyway, again, I say we've come a long way, baby. For those of you who are of a certain age, you know that used to be a Virginia Slims commercial. We've come a long way, baby. And again, I'm proud of those of us who are healing and doing things differently. And there are times when we will still be triggered. I was just triggered the other day. But I'm still proud of myself, because, say, 10 years ago, I would have used foul language and participated in name calling. And this time I did not. I just stuck to the facts of what the situation was. Because a lot of people are still rude, because, again, they don't get it. They don't get that we're supposed to be community, right? It's not about, oh, I have this title, so that makes me better than you. Or I have this certain kind of car or this lifestyle, so that makes me better than you. It's not about that. And again, some people still just don't get it. But they probably never will, and they'll probably leave here with that same attitude and mentality, and you know, they will have to suffer the consequences of that, because that's a very unrighteous way to think, be, and exist. So, as always, I thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And if you want to support the channel, of course, you always can. And I appreciate it, or we appreciate it. As always, love y'all. Mwah.